So I would highly, highly, highly advise you to listen to yesterday's October is answering me so that you can understand exactly what um, today is about. But yes, we'll go ahead and grab your pen. Make sure, yeah, grab your pen, grab your notebook. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna get my notes out and we can get started. I don't want to hold you guys too long. Go ahead and ping while I'm grabbing my notes. And then that way we can get started and be in and out. So I want to welcome everybody to World ChangHers with Small and Brown, bringing you thought-provoking, mind-shifting wisdom. Grab a notepad and a pen and prepare for a paradigm shift in the next, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes. Hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. I believe today is Sunday. Days are running together. Perfect. All right. So, yesterday's word for October is answering me. If this is your first day or time in the room, October is answering you. God gave me a word for each day, and each day He's given me the breakdown. I've done the breakdown of what it is, how to use it, how October will answer for you, how this is a covenant month of elevation, and how powerful covenant is. If you need the understanding of all of that, you can go back to day 1. It's on here. It would be day 5 is when I opened it up to the public. 1 through 5 was actually more done on a fast that I'm doing that is now done. But yes, this is the month of covenant of elevation. This is a redemption month. This is a year and a month of exposure and justice. And I always say, what side are you going to be on? So we've gone over, I don't even know how many days we are now, but let me go ahead and sorry about that. I am outside. Yesterday's word was business numbers up and record breaking sales in business. I put 2 together. So yesterday was day 15. Today is day 16. And I am going to continue just to kind of recap yesterday. We talked about the characteristic of the God. So each word, not all of them, but most of them, we get a characteristic. So remember, I've taught you guys that unless you know what you need from God, He can't answer you. You got to know He has characteristics for a reason. Why are there characteristics? Because you call on His character. If you need peace, you call on shalom. That is the problem with us believers. We don't know that. So we're looking for peace. We're calling on peace. We're trying to say that I have a sound mind. We're rebuking the enemy when all you have to do is say, Jehovah Shalom, I need you. I need you to be my shalom right now. That's His character. So I've taught you guys that. So each word God has also given me, when we can, I've found a characteristic that coincides with the word. So this word is business numbers up, record breaking sales in business. And the characteristic I want you to write down is Lord of the Harvest. This goes for both of those words. It means Lord, it means ruler, it means controller. Author of the harvest is the main one I want you to write down, because you need Him to be the author of your harvest. Trust you me. You want Him to be in control of your harvest. Okay, He already is. So just give Him back the permission. That's the problem. We take it from Him. Okay. It also means the prophetic season of harvest. He shall restore unto you the wages of your labor that's been stolen. That's what He gave me yesterday. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and go into today. Whatever you do, work heartily, full or wholeheartedly, as unto the Lord and not to men. Sometimes we do things for accolades. Sometimes we do things for pats on the back. And I can't see it, but God knows your heart. Man can't see it behind pictures, but you know your heart, and God judges the heart. So that's the first thing I want you to put in your notes is, whatever I do, do it unto the Lord and not for men. So that means when you take pictures, when you do photo shoots, when you get an increase, do it unto God and not to showboats. And that's something that really has to be dealt with, because you never know what is in you that's going to manifest when you get that increase. You don't know. And I keep telling people that. And the pressure from what is happening is what makes it come out. The pressure from what is happening is what makes it come out. So, for example, you get a new job. You get a new job, you get a bigger house. Was there anything wrong with your old house? No. You just have more money, so you want more stuff. But before, you were absolutely content, or you get a new job and you get another car. Now your increase that should have been a 20% increase is now an 8% increase because you went and bought a new car just to flex. That right there was hidden. You didn't think you would ever do that. That was not your MO before, but now that you have it, you see what I'm saying? So you don't know what next platform, what your next expo in a good way, God taking you out like that, the lid off of you. You don't know what that will do for you. Okay. So you always have to make sure you ask him these questions. Help me to know what's in me before my next increase. Take it out. So whatever you do it wholeheartedly unto the Lord. God will put the right plans, the ones according to his will, into your heart. You just have to agree to them. Period. And they never, rarely, I say 5% line up with what you want. Everything that I'm doing right now, I didn't want to do. I didn't want to get on Clubhouse. I didn't want to get on Instagram. I don't like Facebook. I hate taking pictures. I don't like people in my personal space. I don't like people calling me. Everything that I'm doing, I did not want to do, don't like doing it. But God put it in my heart and I'm good at it because he put it in me. So that's another telltale sign. I want you to put that and I want you to underline it because what he puts in your heart, it's not anything you want to do. And I told you guys why before. Because if I wanted the fame, he wouldn't give it to me. Because when they come with the contract of me selling my soul, when they come with a contract of me, oh, if you want more money, this is what you got to do. You got to leave God. If I want it bad enough, I'll do it. So he places people like me and you in position in places that we don't want. So there is no way they can dangle a carrot. I hope you guys are following me. If you're following me, because I really don't want to go down that rabbit hole, just put a 1 in the chat if you're following me. He gives you a desire of things that he needs you to do, but you don't want to do so he can preserve you. Okay, good. Good, because I really don't want to go down there. Perfect. So, next, the wealthy sees themselves, so this is a Hebraic mindset of wealth. The wealthy see themselves as stewards of God's gift and manage their possessions in a way that honor him. I want you to write that down. I'll repeat it because I know I talk fast. The wealthy, the Hebraic mindset of wealth is they see themselves as stewards of God's gifts and manage their possessions in ways that honor him. That's not wealth for us. When I looked at wealth in the Hebraic, in the Jewish community, that's why they keep it. Because they see it as I get to steward this for God. It's an honor to be chosen. We don't look at wealth like that. Oh, I can't wait to be wealthy so I can do this and I can get that and I can show off this. See the difference, dichotomy in the relationship and the mindset? Why you think they have wealth that's long wealth, long generation. So I want you to write that down. I'll say it again. The Hebraic mindset of wealth is they see themselves as stewards of God's gifts and manage their possessions in ways that honor him. For example, this is the ones in the Bible. The riches of the young ruler, you can read this story in Luke 18 through 25, skewed his thinking and blocked his union with Christ. Remember that? When he said, all you got to do is sell all your stuff and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, up, yeah, deuces. But Lydia, I had never heard of this. I had to go look this one up. Lydia, a dealer in expensive purple cloth. This is Acts 16 and 14. Please go read it. Don't just take my word for it. You guys go read it so you can see the difference. So one was a rich guy, because there's a difference between rich and wealthy. We know that. Rich is just a lot of money that we have. It's not, I'll get into that later. Anyway, so Lydia, the dealer with expensive purple cloth, Acts 16:14, worshiped the Lord with an open heart and was baptized, appreciating her material wealth as a blessing from God to be used in ways that glorified him in one thing. But when this same wealth separates you from God and stifles, stagnates, and stops your spiritual growth, then this is altogether different. Okay? That will hinder your kingdom infrastructure. God is trying to create a whole kingdom infrastructure. If you didn't listen to yesterday, I need you to listen to it. Your kingdom infrastructure is not going to look like everybody else's. Okay? I'm telling you that right now. It's not going to look like anybody else. It shouldn't look like anybody else. You should not mimic anybody. You should not rise on Instagram like everybody else. You should not be doing, unless he's trying to take things out of you. Some people, I'm not one to dance and point at the screen on Instagram. That's not me. But some people, he's like, I need you to do that. But that's not you either, because he's doing it to get you out of your comfort zone. But then he's going to have you do something totally different. But you couldn't do the totally different until you at least did the dance. So we're not to look like the world at all. But he uses these things to strip us of our blocks. I hope you're hearing me. Okay, there are things that I do on Instagram that I would never do, but I know it was the Lord. On TikTok, I joined TikTok. I was like, I don't want to do TikTok. I ran from TikTok for forever, and my assistant and people were like, you should get on TikTok. One of my clients were like, you need to get on TikTok. I was just like, all they do is dance. And then she's like, no, not true, not true. So God helped me find my niche. Okay. But I had to be open. You got to be open. Okay. So that's that. The kingdom infrastructure that he's building right now doesn't look like the world. It shouldn't look like the world. Don't let it look like the world. You are the alternative. I want you to write that, and I want you to star it all over it, circle it. I want you to meditate, chew, regurgitate, meditate, chew, and regurgitate it. What is an alternative to you? What does it look like? I'm an alternative. And I don't mean alternative. You know me, all my words are opposite. I'm a disruptor, but not in a bad way. I'm not a rebel. Okay. I don't do the opposite and get in trouble. I dismantle things and I disrupt things with my presence and my words. I come in on the back end when most people come in on the front end. Things that I do, I can't explain it. Those of you who've been on the All Fast, we can't explain it. Those of you who've been on Go Back and Get Her, you can't explain it. Anything I do, it's so different. You can't explain it. You got to experience it. But that's me as a disruptor. That's the difference. What's your difference? What's your alternative? How are you different? That you need to ask God. You need to staple that. You need to coin that. You are the alternative to everything the kingdom of darkness is doing right now. You should not mimic or look like. Now, I am one that says go into the kingdom of darkness and yank back what they stole, but then you have to turn it, you have to cleanse it, you have to redo it so that when you regurgitate it back to your people, they can't sniff darkness. They can't see darkness. That's exactly what he has me do. I go sit in someone's room. I go sit on YouTube and I said, where do you want me to go today? And he'll send me to a witch. He's had me sit and watch someone read tarot cards. My whole body I was like, okay, God. He's like, no, I got you. I'll let you know when you need to go. Even the girl was unconscious. She's like, oh my God, my head is itching. I was like, well, why are you doing this? Like, what the heck? But God covered me. I got out of there. I got what I needed and I was out. And he gave me the alternative. I'm working on another one now, which is about to completely blow my. I know it's going to be another series. So you are the alternative. When you're seasoned of material wealth, notice I said material because that's a difference. Wealth is all encompassing. That's success. That's affluence. That's influence. But I said material wealth arrive if it hasn't already, because many of you are literally walking into it. This, I want you to look up 1 Timothy 6. 17 through 18. 1 Timothy 6, 17 through 18. It's a passage in telling you what to do. There are 4 things you need to do when your wealth comes. I will wait for you guys. Perfect. She just joined. Right on time. There are 4 things that you need to do when your material wealth comes. I didn't say wealth is in success. I didn't say wealth is in influence. I said material. That's money. Because it's here. I know we've been saying it for 10 years. I know we've been preaching it, declaring it, decreeing it, trying to grab it and all that good stuff. But when I say your spirit knows it's here, when I say the difference of this year is here than any other year, you have something tangible in your hand that can bring it to you. If it's not tangibly in your hand, it's in the vicinity. You're in the area of it, or you have an idea and you can see it and taste it. It's not a figment of your imagination anymore. It's now out of your mind. It's on paper, and all you are literally doing is waiting. Literally, we are here. So the material, when your material wealth arrives, if it hasn't already, some of you guys already have it. 1 Timothy 6:17 through 18. I want you to write that down. That is a passage. I'm going to break it down. I got this from a Hebraic mindset work. I don't even know. Can't even call it. So, one is don't become arrogant. I'm going to give you the topics and then I'm going to go through them. Two is don't put your hope in your wealth. Three is be rich in good deeds. Four, be generous and willing to share. Do I need to repeat that? Drop a one in the chat if I need to repeat that. I'm going over the four things that you need to do when your material wealth arrives. And we want to do it. I need to repeat it. Yes. You want to do this now. Don't wait for it to come. This is why I'm a forerunner. I'm a pioneer. I know it's coming. I know it's in the atmosphere. I know it's like it's in transition from the spirit realm to the natural. It's stuck in transition. Before it was in the spirit realm, we had to grab it. It is now in transition and it's about to manifest into the natural. It's about to be tangible in your hands. Like you can smell it. Okay. That's how close we are. So again, number one is don't become arrogant. Number two, don't put your hope in your wealth. Number three, be rich in good deeds. Number four is be generous and willing to share. All right, now we'll go ahead and get started. So, number one, don't become arrogant. Work hard and become successful in life, but don't think of yourself as better than others because of your material wealth. Listen to me. You know I'm a pioneer. You know I'm a disruptor. You know I'm a forerunner. Whatever I give you is always who you are not. Let me know if you understand whatever I'm giving you, it is not who you are right now because you don't have the wealth. Hear me. Don't dismiss what I'm telling you. These are real simple. And right now you're not as wealthy. I'm not speaking that on you, but you know what I'm saying. We don't have that wealth that some people have. But when new money enters into your life, you don't know who you will become. Don't dismiss it. Yeah, it's real simple. Don't become arrogant. I'm not arrogant now. Why would I become arrogant? You don't know what will happen when that money hits your bank account. When that wealth transfer hits and you're like, whoa, and then you buy your first big home, you buy your first real nice car, and then you buy your first or second real nice bag and the shoes to go with it. Listen here. You're opening doors that you've never been into before. Don't dismiss the simplicity of what I'm saying. I'm giving you a blueprint for the warning, okay? I'm giving you a blueprint for your material wealth so that you don't have 5 seconds of fame. I heard that the other day. They were like, it's not even 15 seconds or 15 minutes anymore. It's now 5 seconds. People are scrounging on YouTube for 5 seconds of fame, literally. Oh, I went viral one time and they're good. No, that's not anybody under the sound of my voice. When we get our wealth, it's to maintain it, it's to steward it, and it's to keep it. So these simple things that I'm saying will hinder you. This is from a Hebrew mindset, okay? Do not become arrogant. Work hard and become successful in life, but don't think of yourself better than others because of your material wealth. In Deuteronomy 8:18, Moses reminds us, remember the Lord your God, for he is the one who gives you the ability to produce wealth. See, right now that scripture doesn't make sense to us. Right now we are on the other side of wealth and we are trying to say, oh, he gives us the power to get wealth. Remember the Lord your God, for he is the one who gives the ability. This is broken down from Hebrew. That's how it's written in Hebrew. He gives you the ability to produce wealth. You become arrogant, that ability is gone. Period. The end. Just as quickly as you got it. That's number one. Did you guys get everything? Deuteronomy 8:18. It's a different spin on it. This is your warning. Number one, when your material wealth, I'm being very, very specific and choosy with my words. You know how I am. I didn't say wealth as in success, influence. I said your material wealth. These are things that our world thrives on, that if you have it, you are of stature. You look different. You walk out your car and you feel different. No, ma'am. Don't become arrogant. And always remember, this needs to be an alert. If you're in the World ChangHers, you need to make these as don't do it now, or you can now. Let's ask the Holy Spirit. 4 things I need to remember when my wealth comes. 4 don'ts. All right. Number 2, don't put your hope in your wealth. Proverbs 23 and 5. That's the scripture reference. Proverbs 23 and 5. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. That is Proverbs 23:5. A good job or business and its steady earnings can be here today and gone tomorrow. As quickly as God gives it to you is as quickly as he will take it if you become arrogant. That is the number one. So does anybody remember the number one, my very, very first alert that I said I will never, ever, 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 ever take off my phone? Anybody know? Anybody remember? You can drop it in the chat. Number 2 is do not put your hope in your wealth. Proverbs 23:5 says, cast but at a glance at your riches. Only look at it because it's a vapor. As quickly, I'm telling you, money, you think money when you don't have a lot of money goes fast. When you have a lot, it goes even faster. Clothe me with humility. That needs to be your first one. Arrogance and humility are the opposite. And you need to know that. That goes with pride. You're prideful because of the money. All right, that's number 2. Number 3, be rich in good deeds. All right, the scripture is Ephesians 2:10. A good deed is a free and voluntary act of service towards another person, right? Doing good deeds for others is the fruit of your salvation. And Ephesians 2:10 tells us, for we are God's workmanship, created in Jesus, Yeshua, to do good works. When you become wealthy, give more. Not just money, just give more. Balance it out. See, our world is cyclical. Our world is a scale. If it's too much bad, the world feels it. Kind of like in 2020, when all that thing happened, March of 2020. Did you notice how everything was everyone was loving and kind and nice? No, I had a friend, she's not on here, who is a what's it called? She works for the hospital, and she not 911, but she's coding. And she was just like, I called her maybe May or June, and it was like, how's work? She goes, girl, boring. We don't have no freak accidents. Ain't nobody at a hockey game, football game, soccer game. We don't have nobody falling off bleachers. Like, the emergency room is empty because no one was outside. The normal casualties of life were gone, and the internet was the nicest place we've ever seen it, because everyone was sympathetic, empathetic of what was happening, because we had to balance the pandemic out. That's nature. There's always a balance. It's a scale. That's why the yin and the yang. If there's too much bad, like right now, there's a shift happening. There's an entire split happening in the world. And the shift is, if you raise your vibration to love and walk in love, after a while, you're not going to be able to be hit by these low level demons because you're going to be out of reach. Okay? So when your wealth arrives, I don't care how much you give right now, take it up a notch. Give your old clothes. Every time you see a homeless person, you pray and say, which one do I give? Make it your business to balance out that you just came into all of this wealth and give. I'm giving you 4 warnings. Okay? 4 warnings. You are the alternative to everything the kingdom of darkness is doing. And when your material wealth arrives, if it hasn't already, these are the 4 things that you need to put in place. These are your boundaries to maintain. These are the stewardship of your boundaries in the spirit realm and in the natural. Okay? What number are we on? 1, 2. Don't put your hope in wealth. Be rich in good deeds. Be generous and willing to share. How many did I say there were? Oh, yeah. Be generous and willing to share. Piggybacking off of the one I just said. Generous people are synergistic. Sorry. They build organizations and contribute to the success of others. Who wants to do business with someone who only takes? Okay? Be a giver. I tell my kids all the time, if you are not love, you are nothing. When wealth comes, if you are not a giver, why do you think Oprah gives? Why do you think all these big name celebrities give and give and give? Why do you think, be careful how I say this, at the end of the year, there's thousands of donations that if they just, it happened to me, I just wasn't ready. I told this story before, but I'll tell it again as I wrap up. My cousin came to me and said, "Hey, I have an older white Jewish friend who needs to get rid of $1 million." It was November, end of November. And he was like, but he needs a business plan right now that is worth $1 million. He just wanted to throw it at it. He knows why. Yeah, it's for a tax write-off, but it's a bigger purpose. They understand. See, there's laws that you and I do, that I've researched. There's laws in our world. There's laws of compensation. There's laws of, laws of giving, laws of reciprocity. There are so, and they operate in it. And the law of giving, sowing, and reaping is one that we know in the church oh too well, but we don't use it. We don't capitalize on it. And it's not only wealth. I went into that yesterday. It's not only money. It's your time. It's seeds that you sow for other people. Make things happen for other people. Okay, sorry about that. I had to put you guys on mute for a second. So yes, what when your wealth comes, they know the rules to give. They know if they don't give, it stops. See, the reason why a lot of, and I'm not gonna say us, the reason why a lot of people are poor, are in lack, and they operate in poverty is because we don't give. We're stingy. When things get tight, we hold on. They know that when things get tight, to give and you get more. See, we don't have, a lot of us don't have that mentality. We're in a famine. They're in a famine. I keep saying that. Lord, I correct that. I avoid that. They're in a famine. They're in scarcity. Right now, the world is the way it is, right? And many of you, if I asked you, have you sown? Those of you on the off fast, yes. Those of you who are in the inner course and part of World ChangHers and Arise, you know better. But a lot of you on the outside, you've held on to your money more than you should. And see, right now, millionaires are being made. You know why? Because business people are pouring into the stock market, investments, while everybody else is scrambling to save $5 and hold on to it, while the gap gets bigger because they're getting richer and wealthier because they're pouring in when the season looks like you shouldn't. See, we pour in the lower level, middle class, when it looks like you shouldn't. It's the opposite. You buy low, sell high. Is that right? We don't do that. Many of you are hoarding your money right now, and hoarding it is stifling it. The law of reciprocity is you give, you get. You release, you get more. Why you think I give everything I get? I'm sorry, it's windy. I release everything I get from, and that's what I'm trying to show you, that the seeds not only are finances. I release knowledge. I release strategies. Whatever prophetic word I get from angels in my sleep, in my dream, I release it into the inner courts. Why? Because when I release it, I get more. They trust me with more sacred, more hidden knowledge. There are people out there who are leaders that don't want to give because they want to be in the know. And no, I want more. Give me as much as you can. Open me wide open. I'm ready. Okay. So those are the four things. Again, it is. We started with God will put the right plans, the ones according to his will, in your heart, right? And I went over all of the things. This is part 2 of yesterday. So if you didn't listen to yesterday, I'd highly, highly advise you to listen to it yesterday's. It is in my replay. You are the alternative to everything the kingdom of darkness is doing, but you got to accept that. You got to accept that your business is not going to operate like theirs. It's not going to look like theirs. It's not going to move like theirs. It's not going to roll like theirs. And it is okay. And you got to say no to when they try to force you to look like theirs. I don't care how much money that contract is offering. I don't care if it'll pay off every debt you own. If it doesn't line up with you being the alternative, if it doesn't line up with what God says you're supposed to do in this season and who you're supposed to be, say no. Because I promise you it's a counterfeit. And then right on the heels of that, the real one will come and you get to be you. I just heard this woman say that she's a DJ personality, whatever, podcast personality. And they came to her and said, we want to offer you a position or a spot on a really high, what's the word? I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. A really important podcast or a really lucrative podcast, basically. They wanted her voice because she was good. And she was like, sure. Until she read the fine print at the bottom. It says you will be selling your soul. And I've told you guys this before. You will be selling your soul. And you can't say Jesus. You can say God. So now you know why all celebrities say God. And you don't know what God they're talking about. That's why they'd be like, I want to give all honor to God because that's the only thing they can say. They cannot say anything else. They will not let them say Jesus. They won't, let alone Yeshua. They're not going to let you say that. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is when your material wealth comes, these are the 4 things you need to put in place now. These are the 4 things you need to put in place now. Right now. Not later. Right now. Because remember, I'm all about practice. You can't put it in place when the money comes. It's too late. Why do you think he's giving it to me now? You cannot put it in place when the money comes. Once the money comes, you're already changing. And it's inevitable, you guys. It's inevitable. Every elevation, and this is the covenant month of elevation, every elevation that comes requires something in you to die. Your choice is whether it's going to be the good in you or the flesh, your spirit or the flesh. That's your choice. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any comments? Anybody have anything they want to add? Anything I need to repeat? Let me know. Raise your hand or drop it in the chat. As we close, definitely about to close so that I can let you guys go so you can enjoy your Sunday. This is day 16. I am coming on here every day, and God has given me a word for every day. Okay? Every day he has given me a word for October. October is answering for you. I've had people in my inbox saying, my God, every word you've released, something happens. That's the point, you guys. But only if you expect it. Something is supposed to happen every day with these words that I'm releasing. That is the reason I'm releasing it. Once you're aware of what's supposed to be happening in your life daily, then you can look for it, you can expect it, and you can move accordingly. So go back. I started October 5th, 1 through 5, like I said, is exclusive in my inner course, but I opened it up on the 5th. 1 through 5 is exclusive, but I opened it up. Sorry. I opened it up on the 5th so that you guys outside can get what you need, because this is a covenant month of elevation. Okay, let me see how I can work this, because they have changed this. I don't know how to. Yeah, it's different. So before I let her speak, I want to add a link as I'm closing, because I want you guys to understand also about sowing seeds. And I give this every time because I need you guys to understand the power of sowing seeds. So I have been hand selected to be a part of a competition called Fab 40. And this competition has completely and totally changed my world and is preparing me for everything we just spoke on. There are things that God is landing in your lap that is going to help you get what you're supposed to get, help you be prepared for where you're going. Don't look at contests, don't look at opportunities as just an opportunity. It's always a mirror check. It's always an opportunity to reflect if you look at it like that. When I started this, I had issues. When it was sent to me, I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm good. Like, nah. And my assistant was like, no, you need to. I think you'd be great. And everyone else was like, absolutely, why not? So I went on ahead. Now, what I want you to understand is this seed that you are going to sow in a form of a vote. I gave instructions in my community, in my app, and I'm going to release it because I need you guys to understand the power of sowing seeds that are not financial. Because many of you have been so drilled down, the only seed is finances. Yes, that's a powerful seed because it's a transaction. That is the ultimate seed. Anytime you exchange money, on the trading floor, which is money at any given point, there is a huge portal that opens. And it depends on your heart. It depends on how you're releasing it. And if it's a demonic exchange, that's why when you go to a fortune teller, it's 10 times worse in your life than if a fortune teller just takes your hand and say, oh, let me read it for you. When you exchange money, it's power. That's a trading floor, okay? But you know that already, some of you. I'm talking about a seed in the form of a vote. My link up above. If you sow a seed of voting, if you donate because God leads to you, so be it. If you sow a free seed, a free vote, so be it. Whichever one you're led to. But I need you to do three things. You need to first ask God, what are you supposed to sow? You don't choose. When you do seed time and harvest, it is not your choice. Okay? You ask God, which one do you do? When He gives you your answer, you name it. When you name it, you should have a book or your phone or a log of seeds that you sow. When I give to homeless, I name it. When I feed a homeless person, I name it because it is not passing me by when it comes back. Many of you sow seeds and you don't even know when it comes back your way because you didn't name it and you miss it. You absolutely miss it. So you need to first pray. Second, you need to name it. When you name it, then you need to speak over it. Go and grow. Go and multiply. Go and bring forth whatever the Lord gives you. Okay? You need to do those things to make sure you come into and get what you're supposed to get out of sowing your seed. Okay? Those are the things that I want you to know when you sow this seed in a vote, whether it's free or donated. Always, always name your seed. Always name it, always pray over it, and always command it to do something. Those three things. The fourth one is in my app. You want it, you can join the app. And you can follow me on World ChangHers. If you want more information on that, you can email executive.assistant@somalibrown.com. I'll put up the link as well. But go ahead, Ayoka. I just wanted to let you guys know that I am in a competition, and if I've ever sowed a seed into your life via a word and it changed you, if I've ever spoken and told a story and it shifted your whole life, all I'm asking is for a vote in return. As much as I pour out and you guys receive, that is the reciprocation. I give, you get, you give. And it doesn't always have to be back to me. And I've never, ever asked for anything. I don't. But I want to teach you the laws of sowing and reaping so you stop living paycheck to paycheck. I'm telling you, the wealthy in our world understand this concept more than we do. They know the power of sowing and reaping. It's just not in the context. They call it, I forgot what they call it. Lord, bring it back. Um, uh, Affirmations, they call it law of attraction. That's what they call it, law of attraction.
No, I was going to say the law of reciprocity.
That's their language, but it's the same biblical principle. They just took God out and put that in. I'm putting up the link. So if you are interested in joining my email community, you grab this link and all my information is on there. The shift experience that I'm having in early spring of 2023, it's an in-person conference. You can join my email community. You can email my assistant if you have any questions. My replay community, if you want replays that are not public, they're exclusive, click this link and you are able to find me, whatever you need. So thank you. Thank you guys very much. Go ahead, Ayoka.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for this. This is right on point, especially with all of us who are had the morning we had today. Quick question: what was the First Timothy scripture?
6:17 through 18, and that is that breaks down the 4 that I went over. That's the scripture reference for the 4 instructions that was given.
Okay, and then also, if this might be more of a Diona question, but I wanted to find out what the first 5 were as I'm working to catch up on. That's within the app.
The first 5 was on the off app. It's not specific. It was just those first 5 days of
Got
October. Yeah.
got it. And for those who have not voted yet, listen. I say this all the time, and I'm gonna keep testifying. This woman, I know I'm not the only one whose life she has impacted and changed, and not just my life, but my marriage and my family as a unit. It is nothing to take a moment to go and vote. And with what comes out of it when she wins, and how I already know she's going to use it to give back and grow the kingdom, and to grow more people for them to become the disruptors that they've been called to be, and to step into who he has called and created them to be, is going to be phenomenal. And I am honored to be able to just do this small token of voting each day. My husband is voting. I'm trying to let more people know to vote for her, because I see the difference in such a short time frame, compared to years of trying to change, or years of trying to become who I know I was destined and created to be. So if you have not taken a moment to vote yet, do so, especially when somebody like Samaya is constantly pouring and constantly giving. And she did not ask me to say this. It is imperative that we give back to our servant leaders so that they know that what they are doing is being reciprocated, like she said. So take that moment, vote. If you're not a part of World Changers, you are missing out on so many nuggets and so many things and so many ways, as Diona would say, would run with the runners, to really get to the next level in Yahweh, to really, really, really understand how to walk in the supernatural realm and become everything, and use everything inside of you to really birth out the true you. It is a game changer and a life saver. And that's just been my personal experience that I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Okay, I'll put it back up. Anybody else have any questions? Anything I need to repeat? Today is really, really important. We're halfway there. He's giving us today was 4 tips on what to do when your material wealth comes, but you need to put it into practice now. 4 tips on what to do so that you don't lose it. Because a lot of us think we'll lose it because the enemy will take it. God will take it too. Don't get it twisted. Do the wrong thing with that money. I know everything that I'm getting, my house is connected. I used to wonder, God wanted to give me a 5-bedroom house in 2012, and I said I don't want it. I was fighting to reverse that because it was a word curse that I spoke over myself because I was not in the right mind frame. I was like, that's gluttonous. I had to deal with my money issues in 2012, and literally he was like, I thought I was fighting that. No, I was fighting because I need to be in a specific region, position, to have a house, because it's not my house. It's for kingdom. I still don't know how it's going to be for kingdom, because I'm one that don't come to my house. Don't come unannounced. Don't knock on my door, because I won't answer the door. I promise you I won't. But so I'm trying to figure out, how is he going to open my house to other people? Because, yeah, so that's probably what's taking so long. It's because he's waiting on me to get it together, because it's not my house. Your car is not your car. Your money is not your money. I need you guys to hear that. So, any other questions? Any other comments? I don't see anything in the chat. I said I didn't want to be on here too long. So thank you so much for those who vote. I appreciate it. I pray over every seed. I'm able to see some, not all. The dashboard's a little wonky. So I'm able to see like the top 3, but if like a whole bunch of people vote, it'll say like 20 seconds or a minute ago. So I may miss it. But what I'm doing is I'm just praying in general. Um, yeah, I'm just praying in general over everyone who sows a seed into my life as a vote, especially if you say I voted, especially if you leave a comment. I am definitely praying, because now I'm teaching you, you're going to see. And then when your book comes out, and then when you're in a contest, when you're releasing your, whatever you're releasing, a community, whatever, you can call back the seeds that you sowed for me. When I win, I'll say that again, when I win, You can literally say, I helped that happen. I took care of your business, God. Now I need you to take care of mine. I sowed a seed into that winning, so I get a piece of that. See, this is what they don't teach us. This is exactly how I use my seeds. So you sow them wisely, but you sow them often. Okay? So thank you so much. If you're just joining, we're actually wrapping up. This replay will be available. I'll be back again tomorrow. I am going all the way through October 31st. Every day he is giving me a word and I'm breaking it down. If he's giving me a God characteristics, we're calling on the God character. This one you want to attach is Lord of the Harvest, Lord of the Harvest. You want, and then I'll give you whatever strategy or blueprint he's given. They are stacking, as Deanna said a couple of days ago. They do begin to stack if you don't do your homework. They do begin to stack, but it's okay. You don't have to get it all in one day. Deanna said it best. She's been with me a year and a half now, almost approaching 2 years and 3 months. And last year she tried to get everything. And most people I draw are like her. They try to get everything and try to make everything work right then and there. She goes, one word she got from me, it just manifested like 2 months ago. It just came back full circle. The strategy that I gave her, but she knew where it was in her notes because she took notes. She knew where she needed to go. She's like, I heard this before. Wait, hold up. And it came back full circle. And God said, now it's time for that. So when I give you something, you also have to learn to discern. Thank you. I appreciate that. You also have to learn to discern, is it for now or not? And when I harped on, this one is right before your material wealth shows, because every person under the sound of my voice is in position to receive material wealth, because I pray over every room. Only bring those who are assigned to my voice, one, and only bring those who are in position to what I'm about to release, or receive to and release. Because it's pointless to really give it to you if it's still 5 years away. That's going to dismay you. That's going to make, because I'm saying it's here, it's here, it's here. That's what's been happening. So if you have any dismay, you need to go repent. If God gave you a word, a prophet prophesied to you, your wealth is here and it has not come and it's been 5, 10 years, go ask God to reveal if you have some dismay or hurt or disgust or annoyance or frustration with that, because it was premature. Someone read your books premature, and that puts us in a whole different mindset. And I'm gonna have to do a room on that, because that hurts, and that's what causes people to fall away from God, because they call people liars and prophet liars. No, they're not prophet lying. They're just early. They were eager. I've gotten words, and God's like, don't release that. They're not ready for that. And I had to listen. Some words will kill you. David is an example. Some anointings will kill you if you walk in it too soon, because you're not ready. The elevation will take you out. So some people are not mature enough to release words and know when to hold and when to fold and when to release. And if they release it too soon, it messes up your life. It messes up your timeline, because now you're like, oh, my money's here, but it's not really. Oh, my wealth is here, but it's not really. They read your book premature, and now you're struggling to make that happen. So thank you, and you guys have an amazing rest of your Sunday. I'll be back again tomorrow with October's Answering for Me, day 17. You guys have an amazing day. Please share this. Please post it. I will be posting it on YouTube. I usually do them live together, but had some things come up. So it will be on YouTube if you want to share it on YouTube. If you haven't followed me, the bit.ly link that was up above, my YouTube is on there as well. But it's Somalia Brown on YouTube. Follow me. Give me a like, because I have a lot of things on there as well that are not on Clubhouse. And then again, my community, I have things on there that are just exclusive to the community. They get way more insight and strategies and blueprints than the out of court. So thank you and have an amazing day. This room is closing.